the way through is through. I was kind of curious. Obviously, you are who you are now, doing the work that you're doing now. You weren't born that way. You've traveled the whole journey.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of interested in, can you remember how and when this awareness and understanding about the way through is through really became present for you in your life? Can you sort of remember to how that happened?
Yeah, I think it's in terms of the way through is through of like feeling the way through. It was really more, I was already in psychology as a field, but a lot of it was focused on really kind of conscious mind approaches. A lot of the early training I received at least was more of like, what's the thought? Um, how do you feel when you think that thought? Okay, tell yourself a different thought, and then do you feel? And so I found I could analyze a lot of things on a really rational cognitive mind level. But then I felt like something was missing, and it just felt, and I also was like, this doesn't change my own patterns or how I'm feeling. Like the things I'm struggling with, I can analyze them back generations back to be like, oh, from my childhood to this to this. And but I was like, but it's still like alive in me, and it's still not like I'm not feeling different. So it was kind of around that time where I ended up getting a one-way ticket to India, and I stayed in India, Nepal for about 9 months and dove deeper into like breath work, yoga, meditation. That's where my spiritual awakening started happening. And I wasn't seeking that consciously at the time, but now I know those kind of practices when we're out of our conscious mind, and in that present moment state, it's like that's more likely to open it up. And so it was really finding tools that helped actually be like, how do you connect with the energy that's alive here from the past so that we can feel it and have an emotional release experience? It's like then those patterns start losing their grip. We're not fighting them so much. They're not so energetically alive in our body anymore. And then the work I did really started shifting, because it's not most of the work I do with clients. Sometimes there's a time and place for knowing, almost like coaching or consulting, to say like, okay, if you're dealing with a really difficult personality, if you're suspecting personality disorder traits, like you need to understand what this is so you know what to expect logically. But so many of the people I work with, and I found that for myself, was I could say, this is what I actually want to do or feel in this situation, but that's not how I'm actually feeling. Like this is just, this energy is coming up. And so sometimes we need to get past the conscious story to be like, how do we just kind of feel this in a safe way and move through it? And then change comes from that, because that old subconscious or old trauma response isn't running the show anymore.
Right. So the initial impetus was coming from